At this moment in hockey history, Nashville Predators currently find themselves in fourth place in the Central Division. After 43 games skated, they have a record of 24-18-1, 49 points, has them 6 points behind an automatic qualifying spot of third place. Now that we're into the second half of the season, we'll start talking about the standings in those ways. And the Predators are 11 points behind first place Winnipeg in the Central Division. The Predators' next game will take place on the road, the first of 3 games on the road. It'll be in Vegas. The Predators' record on the road is 11-7-1. The Predators this season so far have scored 138 goals, coming up 134. It's a goal differential of +4. We'll microscope down on Preds Knights coming up momentarily. Let's talk about the updated Central Division standings, though. The Winnipeg Jets are in first place in the Central Division. They have been easily one of the hottest teams in the NHL in recent weeks. 42 games played, 28, 10-4. They have 60 points. They are 1 point ahead of the second-place Colorado Avalanche. The Dallas Stars are in third place and 5 points behind the first-place Winnipeg Jets. Then you'll find the Nashville Predators in fourth place. Then they are 11 points back of first. In fifth place, the St. Louis Blues, 44 points, are 5 points behind the Nashville Predators. The Arizona Coyotes also with 44 points, 5 points behind the Preds in sixth place. This is important. The Preds have managed to add a little bit of a gap between them and the teams behind them by picking up 4 critical points over this last weekend. The Minnesota Wild are in 7th place with 39 points, and the Chicago Blackhawks have 26 points in 8th and last place in the Central Division. That's the Central Division updated standings. I told you about the Preds' road record and their goal differential, their goals for, their goals against. Now, once they wrap up this first game of the road trip in Vegas Thursday, by the way, special start time in Vegas. Make sure you make a note of that. Special start time much earlier than normal. Thursday, they are in L.A., so they play on Monday, and then they are off Tuesday, Wednesday, play Thursday in L.A., and then Saturday wrap up the 3-game road trip in Arizona in a what will be a pivotal Central Division matchup right there. Back home on the 22nd of January to face off against the Florida Panthers, and then on the 25th of January back out on the road into Minnesota, and then on the 27th of January into Edmonton. The season series between the Nashville Predators and the Vegas Golden Knights, this is the first meeting of the season, so it took until the second half of the season for these two teams to meet, and they will meet 3 times in total. The February the 20th will be the next time. The Preds will also be in Vegas on that one. Vegas only comes to Nashville 1 time this season. They'll be at Bridgestone Arena on March the 26th. Now, the Vegas Golden Knights started off the season red hot, have fallen back a little bit, now occupying second place in the Pacific Division with an overall record of 24-14-5. That is good for 53 points on the season. Impressive home record, 15-5-2. They've scored 136. They've given up 119. They have a goal differential of +17. If we go back and we take a look at their most recent stretch of hockey, it was on January the 4th when they scored a 4-1 loss versus the Florida Panthers. It was on January the 6th when they scored a 5-2 victory versus the New York Islanders. On January 10th, a 3-0 shutout loss at Colorado. On the 11th of January, 2-1 overtime win versus the Boston Bruins. And most recently, the Vegas Golden Knights were one of the only other teams on the rink last night with the Nashville Predators. On 1/13, it was a 3-1 loss versus Calgary. It was Thompson in net, 23 out of 26, taking the loss. Let's talk about the numbers in this matchup and the NHL rankings. The Nashville Predators are leading in goals for. You might be surprised by that. The Vegas Golden Knights had a really red-hot offense earlier this season. The Preds, 3.16 goals per game, is 16th overall in the NHL, while Vegas is generating 3.07 goals per game. That's 18th overall in the National Hockey League. In the goals against category, though, this is where Vegas is doing quite a good job. 2.74 goals against per game is 8th best in the NHL. The Preds are giving up 3.12 per game. That is 18th overall in the National Hockey League. In the shots for category, Vegas shooting more than the Preds. 31.9 on net per game is 10th. Overall, with the Preds, 30.7 shots per game is 16th in the NHL. Exact same number on the shots against, 30.2 per game. So they are rated 16th and 17th respectively, because you can't occupy the same spot in the standings. When it comes to the special teams matchup, it is the Nashville Predators with the better power play. 21.1% conversion rate is 17th overall in the NHL. 31 out of 147 is your raw data on that. When it comes to the Vegas Golden Knights power play, 20.9% is their conversion rate. That's 18th best in the National Hockey League. They are 32 out of 153 opportunities on the season. Now, the Knights do have the better penalty kill. Yes, the other side of things. The penalty kill, 79.5% conversion rate, kill rate, 15th best in the NHL, 26 power play goals against on the season. The Preds are killing off 76.8% against. That's 24th in the NHL, 32 power play goals against. Numbers incredibly high. Between these two teams, let's talk about the top five individual scores and the anticipated goaltending matchup. The top five scores are actually a very similar breakdown on each side of the ledger. Let's start with the visiting Nashville Predators first. The Philip Forsberg, by the way, congratulations, Philip Forsberg, announced on social media that he is about to become a dad. Quite a funny post, actually. Philip Forsberg has 22 goals on the season with 26 assists for 48 points. O'Reilly has 16 goals and 22 assists for 38 points. The captain, Roman Josi, put up quite a bit of points as of late. 8 goals, 28 assists for 36 points now on the year. Nyquist is at 11 and 23 for 34. Sissons 12 and 9 for 21 points on the season. Over on the home side of things for the Vegas Golden Knights, Jack Eichel, always been a problem for the Nashville Predators. 19 goals, 25 assists, 44 points on the year. Stone has 12 goals and 29 assists for 41 points. Carlson, 15 and 17 for 32. Marchessault, 17 goals, 12 assists for 29 points. And Stevenson, 7 and 13 for 20. Your anticipated goaltending matchups is UC Saros getting the start on the road, 17, 15, and 1 on the season, a 901 save percentage of 3.02 goals against average, and Thompson taking the loss in their most recent game versus Calgary, now the record 13, 9, and 3, a 905 save percentage of 2.77 goals against average. First of 3 regular season meetings for the Nashville Predators and the Vegas Golden Knights. It's pretty weird to go all the way to the second half of the season without these two Western Conference teams facing off against each other, but they'll play a total of 3 times now between Monday and March the 26th. So for the Nashville Predators, an opportunity to keep the momentum going against a very impressive Vegas Golden Knights team, a team that is very tough to defeat at home with a 15-5-2 record. That's got you all set for the Preds at the Golden Knights. Remember, special start time on that one. Make sure you don't get caught missing out on the beginnings of this game. We got to go back and talk about the Nashville Predators wrapping up the second end of back-to-backs against the New York Islanders at Bridgestone Arena. It's called the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next on the Renegades of Puck Podcast.